Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Highly successful and efficient people all have one thing in common. They all read, or at least listen. Now listeners of the show can get a free audiobook when you sign up for a free 30-day trial of Audible. You can keep the book even if you decide to cancel. Go to audible.blueboxdigital.com to sign up today. And now, on with the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Think Outside the Blue Box podcast. I'm Anthony Rivera. I'm the lead videographer here at BlueBox Digital. And welcome to the podcast. This is a podcast about creative journeys, the entrepreneurs, the hustlers, the people who are out there following their dreams. And today I'm joined by a very creative dude here in the Tampa Bay area, Mr. Keyz.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Welcome, man. Welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
Is your first podcast?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
That's awesome. And you got to make your rounds.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You got to make your rounds.
Excited for the questions.
Yeah.
Excited for the questions.
How did you find out about BlueBox?
I was on Instagram scrolling through, and on your story, I saw the Push Supreme teaser, and then I also saw that Frankie had a podcast with you, and that's how I came across your Instagram, and I followed you.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Oh,
it's good guys.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm glad that they came on and told their stories, man.
Oh, yeah, of course. The quality is what blew me away, for sure.
You know, everybody says that.
Like, the quality of the video for how long you've been doing it is phenomenal.
Awesome,
Nobody
man.
nails that at the beginning.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I actually started as a videographer first,
okay.
and then I kind of delved into this. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm still a videographer. I do music videos, I do TV commercials, I do, weddings, whatever, anything that requires a video camera.
Yeah.
So tell me about you, man. Where are you originally from?
So I was born in Alaska. Don't really remember much from there, to be honest. But when I was around 8 years old, my family was like, all right, let's go to Arizona.
Nice.
My mom was in the military. She got stationed over there.
Military kid?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Grew up in Tucson, Arizona. That was an interesting experience. Lived in a weird town. And then my mom moved here, I want to say 2019, and then she was like, hey, you want to come live with me? And started off the worst year, 2020, in Florida.
Nice.
You can imagine that.
Perfect timing.
Oh, yeah, right? I was like, let's get into it.
What brought you to Florida? What was it about Florida that...
Honestly, I was just like, I'm desperate for change. I'm desperate to find something and seek something for myself, because I was always following my family and following what they wanted to do. And I'm like, all right, I was still a teenager, but I was like, it's time for me to set sail, do something more independent, start making my own decisions.
Carving your own path.
Exactly. And that's when I was just like, all right, yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah.
And now I'm living on my own, and it's awesome.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and you're following your dreams.
Yeah. Forever.
You work on music full time?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
All the time. I have a full-time job working 40 hours plus at the airport, and then when I'm not doing that, I am sitting, writing music, singing.
Hustle.
Yeah, exactly. Never been a freestyler, but whenever it comes to just putting music down on a piece of paper, putting it in my notes, I can go crazy for such a long amount.
I like the here, I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah. It's your description on Spotify. I was reading it earlier, and I really like it. It was Keyz was originally known as Skyjacks, which I want to ask you about that. But later developed a new name because of a friendship with Keyz. You guys made a collaborative, and the bottom part is what kind of got me is so you do frequently like R&B, pop, alternate music to the world to help people open up and relate to the music on another level of emotional depth.
Of course.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I write my music, when I was 14, I was diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety, and it's just a hereditary thing throughout my family. And I've always dealt with just, I'd say, my own demons, as anyone else would call them. And I always felt alone, even though I had so many people around me that are like, I'm here. It didn't feel like it, but that's just my head telling me the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So I was,
man.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going through the same thing a little bit. Yeah,
it's insane. Your mind
wild.
plays crazy tricks on you. So what got me into writing music is I'd been singing since I was 3 years old. My mom even told me, since you had a voice, you've been singing the Fray. Like, I've been singing the Fray. That was one of the first artists. So I was like, all right, well, in 2017, I was at like a credit recovery high school. I dropped out, never been a school person. And I met some people who were like, oh, you have a good voice. Why don't you write music? I was like, no idea.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me try it one time.
Right.
And then actually what's funny is not a lot of people know this story. So this is actually going to be a little like, I guess like page turner. So writing my first song, I was tripping on LSD. so what happened, and it was so unintentional. It was crazy. So I used to hang, like I said, my old town in Tucson, Arizona. I hung out around a skate park, and at that skate park was just a bunch of kids who did a bunch of drugs. Not a fun place to be around, right? Especially at like 13, 14, 15. And then I was 16 when this happened. I went to my homie's house and he was like, hey, I have this. And I had smoked a lot of weed before. I'm an avid smoker. I have chronic back pain. So weed's my favorite.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right?
Yeah, I got my card.
Yeah, right? See, I got my appointment May 5th. May 5th. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I went over to one of my homies' house from the skate park, and he was like, bro, I got this liquid LSD. It's on a Sour Patch Kid. I don't know if you've ever tried that before. I was like, it's a Sour Patch Kid, and it'll get me high? Like weed? No, not at all like weed. You're going to like feel a little different. I was like, okay, I'll feel a little different. Okay, sure. I had no intention of like what was going to happen. So I take that about an hour, and I'm like, nothing's happening. He's like, all right, I'll give you your $7 back. He's like, I'll give you your $7. And then 30 minutes go by. I'm sitting there, and everything in the room just starts going 3D. And it was insane because the colors just started getting like vibrating. And wow. I don't know how to describe colors vibrating. Don't know. But and then I was just sitting there, and then I was like, let's listen to some instrumentals of music. I like music, but I just want to hear the beats. And then I was putting on some instrumentals, and in my head, all I could see was just visualizations of words popping up. Nice. So I was like, okay, let me just write these words down. And I came up with my first song, which is called Turn Out the Lights, which is completely, I mean, I guess decent for a first song, but not a good song, I guess you could say. Just one of those ones I put out there because I was trying to get into the industry a little bit.
Hey, you got your feet wet.
Yeah, exactly. Just dipping my toes in the water. Yeah. And then I wrote that, and that's kind of what got me into making music. And I just, I want to bring people into the music with a sort of grasp of, I know how you feel. I understand the emotions that you're going through, even without going through them. Because I feel like when people say you don't understand, there's so many different things to misunderstand. So many different things to misunderstand. I feel like emotions aren't misunderstandable because everyone feels the exact same thing, just in different ways. So when it comes
just
to
different perspective.
Exactly, just a different perspective or a different situation. So we felt those emotions before, just from a different situation. So I feel as if my music can help people relate in any kind of way, then it helps me.
Yeah, for sure, man. And who was your inspiration? Like where do you kind of pull from?
So growing up, definitely it was The Fray, Chris Daughtry, Nickelback, Evanescence, Linkin Park, like all those kind of like old 2000s artists. And then eventually I started getting into rap. I was very, very, very late to listening to rap. I feel like that's why I don't know, like I hit puberty early, but I was not like mature because I never listened to rap. I never understood, like, what can you call it? Like the culture of rap or the culture of music. Yeah, I wasn't huge into like that side of music. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, oh, all this like emo, rock, rap, like growing up kind of stuff. And then when I finally was in, I believe it was 10th grade, that's when I finally started listening to rap and a bunch of stuff frequently because on campus I would hear people playing it. I'd walk by and I'd hear Colt 45, 2 zigzags. And I'd be like, all right, what the hell is that? That's fire. And like I did not know what that was in 10th grade, which is absolutely insane. I was not cultured enough to listen to Colt 45 earlier on.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Just weren't introduced to it.
Exactly. I wasn't introduced to some things early enough. So I kind of introduced myself to all the music I'm listening to now. And Juice WRLD was definitely, I'm sure you hear this all the time. Juice WRLD, oh my gosh, number one artist. absolutely
inspired
phenomenal.
so many people.
Oh my gosh, almost every artist that's out here today, like Juice WRLD inspired him. Juice WRLD inspired them.
That's one of the few. That's one of the few artists that actually like it hurt me when I found out that he was gone.
Exactly, me too. I remember I heard about X's passing. I had just gotten off a plane and I was visiting one of my friends in Arizona, and I heard about it and I was like, damn. Like that one, like it kind of struck me because I had listened to him since I heard "Look at Me" come out. I was on a bus, and then Lil Peep died. I never really listened to him, but he actually died in my hometown, Tucson, Arizona.
Oh wow.
So I was kind of upset when that one happened, because like Peep was an amazing artist as well. But when Juice died, it was just a whole nother level of impact on the world itself as well as me, because his music told messages that no one has been able to tell yet. And that's what I feel like a lot of artists are trying to accomplish. That's why a lot of people will fall out trying to sound exactly like him. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like Juice WRLD, he's just the best artist in the world.
Yeah, that was a big loss.
Yeah, huge loss to the world.
He'd be loss.
And he still has, 2,000 unreleased songs, which is insane.
It's wild.
Insane. Like, you go on YouTube, there are more unreleased songs on YouTube than there are on his Apple.
Wow.
Which is freaking insane.
Holy crap. I know they keep trying to release stuff, even after.
Yeah, they are. And
but I don't know, like, the stuff that they've released since, like, it doesn't sound like him, though. It sounds like it's been...
It was, like, right before his passing when he was just, like, talking about his drug addiction and how no one was helping him with it.
Yeah.
Because even if you watch the documentary, and I've seen multiple people say this, and some people may disagree with me, but, like, it hurt watching the Juice WRLD documentary, just watching everyone around him snort all those pills.
Just take.
Exactly. Yeah. His girlfriend was laying in his lap while he had a book, and he was just snorting a perk off of it while someone was literally just sitting there recording him. And I'm like, you're on a private jet. You ain't gonna be like, hey, maybe that's too much. While he was already mumbling his words.
Jesus
And I'm like,
Christ.
there's a point where when someone has a problem and you're around, you need to say something or do something about it. And the people who were around him didn't. And as much as they loved him, because everyone around him did love Juice WRLD. Everyone loves Juice WRLD. I haven't met someone who doesn't. I feel like they could have better taken care of the situation that he was in by not recording rather than doing something. Yeah, you know,
like intervening.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, hey, like, because
when somebody gets that big, though, it's kind of like you're kind of afraid to step up, because it's like, who are you to tell them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, like the other day at the Oscars when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock.
Jesus Christ.
Someone actually had it was in an article. Someone asked Will Smith to leave, and I commented. I was like, imagine being the man to walk up to Will Smith. Like, I'm sorry, sir, you have to leave.
You're
like,
have
no,
to go.
now Will Smith, no, I'm not doing it. How much you paying me? Like, no, that is like, you do not, like, no.
Yeah, like once you get past like a certain status, it's like it's not that everybody around you becomes yes man. It's just that they're just kind of afraid to step up. Yeah, yeah, because you're such a big star. Like, you've obviously done something right. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of dangerous. I feel like Post Malone went through something like that too.
Yeah, I remember when the whole TikTok thing was going on, like literally him eyes rolling back while singing his songs on stages, and I was like, oh,
there was
my God.
obviously something wrong.
Yes, literally, and everyone was like, someone help Post Malone. No one responded to it either.
Yeah.
Like, Post never. I think he responded to it once at the very, very end, saying he was like sober off of alcohol and stuff. But that was after like the situation was addressed so heavily on social media, everyone was worried he was gonna die.
Yeah,
like, that's how
because nobody around him was saying anything,
Exactly.
and it's like all the fans were like, "Okay, there's something obviously wrong here."
Exactly, and that's what's crazy is the fans to people's music pay more attention than the people around them.
Yeah,
and like it's not the people around like musicians' fault. It's just they think of us as like. That's just a homie, you know what I'm saying? They don't think of us as like...
They're too close.
Exactly. For example, my girlfriend doesn't look at me and say, that's Sky Keyz. Like,
yeah,
that's
right.
not how she looks at me. My best friend doesn't look at me and say, that's Sky Keyz. They look at me like, that's Darian Jackson, because that's my legal name.
Nice.
And I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Well, when did you actually start putting stuff out?
So I started putting stuff out. My first song was... I forgot the date already. party? I believe it was in July of 2019. It was
Okay.
I remember I had made it, and that's actually how I met my homie Keyz, who I'm still in contact with today. He's going to be at my headline show.
Nice.
I had talked to my homies who introduced me to like writing and music and all that at school, and I was like, hey, all right, how do I record it? How do I put it on Apple? How do I
do this?
Yeah, how do I do all this? Yeah, exactly. And now I have so much knowledge, which is so great. And I've been using DistroKid for so long. That's, if you've heard of that, I use DistroKid. We were working, I was like, how do I record this? And then they were like, oh, well, I have a microphone. I'll bring it over to your house. I was like, all right. Come over. Let's record it. I was sitting there, and then I was like, recording it a few times. They're like, no, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. I was like, because I was just singing like kind of like talking on paper, but I had like the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And then because I knew how music worked, I just didn't know flow yet. I had to develop my own flow, I guess you could say, because that's what every artist has to do. So I had to develop my flow. So I was sitting there for at least 2 hours recording these sets of vocals until I thought they sounded perfect. Because I was becoming a perfectionist as I was noticing it. So I recorded that, and then I sent it over to Keyz, who they gave me the contact info for. And I was like, all right, let me know when you're done with it. About a week and a half later, he sent it back to me, and I was sitting there with my homie in his bedroom listening to it, and I was like, this is so good, like shitting myself. Like, this is my first song. This sounds fucking awesome. I'm so happy. Fire. Yeah. And then I put it out, and I like around like support as far as like everyone around me was phenomenal in the beginning, which always is in the beginning. Yeah. And then it started slowly dying off, the support around me, but I still have like a few people who have been there since the first day I dropped my first song, like still liking all my shit, posting all my shit, fucking will tell me, hey, I have your shit on repeat tonight. I'm like, well, you're a god.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Bless. Like there's one kid, his name's Carlos. He's been since day one. He has not like stopped messaging me since like about my music, about how good it is, about how positive it is, and like that's
validation, man.
Exactly, and it's good to see that I'm making an impact on like someone. Yeah. And like a few people, because I've had a few people tell me like, hey, your music has helped me out a little bit. Your music has helped me in hard times, because like my music, some of it is definitely sad, but I feel as if, like I was saying, it can reach a different emotional depth where I feel like you can relate to it in a way where it can help you just dissipate the emotions that are inside of your head. Because I feel like listening to a song, if I'm upset, can definitely help me just get rid of the emotions that I'm feeling in that moment. Like if I'm sad, most of the time I'll just put on some fucking like hardcore alternative rock or some shit, fucking just start jamming out to that, and boom, my mood's changed.
Nice.
Or like sometimes if I am in a sad mood, I listen to some sad music and I feel better. Yeah. Like just genuinely, because it just like, it's like, okay,
as you can relate.
Exactly. It's like someone else is relating. Yeah. I'm not the only one feeling this way right now, and it helps me basically come back to reality, rethink everything. Like I was saying, just like, because depression sends you things you do not want to deal with most of the time. Yeah. And it's just a living hell most of the time. Yeah.
How do you pick the genre? Like when you write a song, do you already know the genre that you're gonna throw it at, or do you kind of just let the emotion kind of pick?
So I'll like go through like kind of like I'll just sit there for like a good 10-15 minutes, and I'll be like, all right, what do I want to do? What do I want to write? And then like sometimes if I can't think of like a specific genre to write, I'll just go on BeatStars, like the app, and I'll just scroll through my feed, and I'll be like, I'll just click random beats until one sounds good, and I'll be like, all right,
till one hits.
Yeah. Nice. I was on BeatStars, and that's how I write it. I'll basically sit in whatever the vibe of the beat is, and I like going based on artists, for example, when I'm looking for beats, because it's like whoever sits in a specific genre, if I like that, like for example, MGK, he gets a lot of hate, but like his rock music is phenomenal. His newest album is but the Tickets to My Downfall was actually a pretty damn good album compared to like most of his rap stuff and the newest one. So that's where I get a lot of inspiration for like that alternative rock stuff that I'm making now, kind of like his directness and like the way he portrays alternative rock in this like time, I guess you could say, in 2022, because there's indie rock, there's alternative rock, there's classic rock, there's Metallica kind of rock. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, so it's hard to differentiate. And kind of Machine Gun Kelly, I guess, I wouldn't say he was the only one, because there's also Poor Stacy, Peep was also another one, but he was more kind of like that sad emo rock. But there's a bunch of artists who just like differentiate it, and that's what kind of helps me pick a genre. Like for example, Jaden Smith. I have a bunch of Jaden Smith type beats in my phone that I love writing to because he is, oh my god, he is so phenomenal. And like the way he talks about like tripping and stuff like that is so crazy in his songs, like because if you listen to all of the background noises and all of like the little like bells and everything, the beats are so intricate on his songs, and I can't get over it. That's what makes me go back to them. Yeah, exactly. Like his song Cabin Fever is definitely one of my favorite ones. Like that one's phenomenal. And Lucy, like that one's just crazy. Like the way he like, and I as an artist always have been insecure about some things that I do with my music because I'm a perfectionist. So for example, like a lot of artists will make skits, and I'm like, how do they do that? Like, how do they make their voice sound good? Like, and like, how do they make it sound so professional? And I'm like, it's all about acting. So I'm like, one day I'll do a skit. But for right now, I've just been so anxious to do skits. But like Jaden Smith and all these artists who do skits, they are so phenomenal.
They're good.
To me. I love skits because they just like, they take it to another level. Like The Weeknd, how like. I have never seen anybody put Jim Carrey on an album, and that to me was fucking phenomenal. So oh my gosh, yes, because every time there's a big theory going around how Jim Carrey tries to expose the truth about like the universe and the government and all that shit.
He tries.
Yeah, he does. And then if you look at every interview, they shut him down fast. And that's what's fun. That's what I thought was funny is like. Now he's not shut down. He kind of put a whole interlude into The Weeknd's album about like just like crazy, not crazy stuff. It's like beautiful. But like I'm glad that The Weeknd let him talk, which is phenomenal because a lot of these other talk show hosts and all that who invite him on, he'll try to go into a different topic and they'll be like, no. Let's go back to that other topic. You're talking about something a little too serious right now.
Yeah, let's go back to promoting your movie. Or something.
Exactly, something like that. And oh my gosh, I haven't even seen him in a movie in so long.
Yeah. No, he's so good. He actually just came out against
Will Smith.
Yeah,
I did
you see that?
Yeah, I was like,
he was so spot on too, man. Mm-hmm. He was so spot on.
It could have been handled so differently.
So much, so much better. I'm surprised the security didn't.
Just take him out.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, as soon as they saw him rushing the stage.
They're probably all fans.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Should we get up? Should we stop Will Smith from walking?
The biggest movie star in the world.
Yeah. Like, and, like, I think it was so unexpected because, like, if you look at the clip, is exactly when Chris Rock says it pans over to Will Smith and Jada. Will Smith.
He's laughing.
Excuse me. He's laughing, yes. And then, like, right at the end of the clip, before the camera pans off of them, Jada Smith, like, has a little bit of a smirk and then rolls her eyes. Camera pans off of them, and then boom.
The next thing you know is he's rushing the stage.
Yes. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then I don't know if you saw my Instagram story. There was this hilarious edit because Chris Rock played Marty the zebra.
Yeah,
and then Will Smith played the fish, and then someone made an edit of the fish slapping the zebra, and I thought that was the absolute funniest thing I had seen in so long. Because I was like, how are they so fast?
I love the internet, man.
Yes, like there's someone to make something within like an hour if you need it. If there's someone to generate 10,000 memes an hour if you need, which is absolutely crazy.
I'm sure there's people just sitting there just pouncing, just waiting to pounce. What just happened? Did he smile?
Yeah, right? With like the whole Kanye West. Like I feel like Jake Paul is one of the celebrities who is pouncing on all that. Like for example, when it happened, he goes, all right, I got 10 million for Chris Rock and Will Smith if they hop in the ring as my undercard. And I was like, are you serious? It was like 15 mil, I think.
Wow.
I was like, Jake Paul is really finna pay Will Smith and Chris Rock to box. Which I thought, I was like, that's hilarious. They're probably not going to do it, but I would watch it. They would make like... Everyone would watch that. The pay-per-views would be absolutely insane because of how big of actors they are, and it would just build so much. What's the word?
Buzz.
Yeah,
press
exactly.
And,
Exactly. So everyone would want to be at that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was so unfortunate, man.
Oh yeah.
as crazy as that was, man, it kind of took away from the actual history that was being made.
Exactly. It took away from him winning the reward because like
his first Oscar, like that was supposed to be his moment to shine.
Yes, and then he decided to slap someone. Over words. Like, come on, they're words. They can be let go, or they can be talked about in private afterwards. Be like, hey, that was like majorly disrespectful.
Exactly. Or even stand up and do what he did, kind of like just don't talk about my wife, and then sit back down. He didn't have to get physical.
Exactly. Straight walked up there and just boom, and you saw his hand. He went through. Like,
he had follow through.
Yes, exactly. He followed through 100%. It's like, and everyone thought it was fake at first. Everyone was like, "This is so fake," but it's like it's real. You can literally hear Chris Rock's mic getting hit from his arm, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I saw a video of their body language being analyzed, and it was real, man.
Oh,
like Chris Rock was not expecting that.
Yeah,
he even leaned into it.
Yeah, exactly.
He leaned into it because he thought he was going to get whispered something, or he didn't know what the hell was going to happen.
Yeah,
so
and then he just got slapped.
It's wild.
Yeah, I'm saying it really is. It really is.
So don't make fun of my hair because I'll slap you.
Yeah, right.
Is the lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Canva. Canva Pro is an online graphic design app that makes content creation easy for everyone. And it helps out the show. To start your 30-day free trial, head over to canva.blueboxdigital.com.
So let's go back to your music, man.
Yeah.
So, what's your process then? Do you start with the beat and then just adds words to it, or do you already have stuff?
Yeah. So I start with the beat, and then I kind of just establish a flow. So what I'll do is I'll like pick out a beat, I'll put it down, and I'll just sit there and hum, or I'll like come up with something in my head like a little flow, and then what I'll do is I'll write it all down. And then whenever I feel that I'm done with that specific part of the song, or sometimes I'll even like write a whole song, I'll just sing it out loud, and if it sounds good, it sounds good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then I'll just make tweaks to it to make sure it does sound good. Because sometimes, like, when I'm writing at, like, a vibrato, but, like, the actual beat key is, like, a soprano. So I got to sing higher.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, writing lower vocals. So I have to just tweak, like, some of the words, stuff like that. But, like, 90% of the time, I just establish the flow in the beginning. That way, it's just like a puzzle. Okay, the pre-chorus goes here. The chorus goes here. The verse goes here. The next chorus goes here. The verse goes here. Boom, song's over.
Done.
Yeah, exactly. Intro, outro, boom, done. Like, just basically establishing the flow and then putting the lyrics in like a puzzle. That's my favorite way to do it.
No, that's awesome. I like that.
I did, I have freestyled a couple songs, but, like, it's the most unexpected times. Like, my brain decides to freestyle, like, when it wants to. Like, I'll be sitting in my bedroom alone on my computer, and I'll be like,
I'll just come to you.
Exactly. I'll just put on a beat, and I'm like, all right. And, like, sometimes what I did is, this is actually how I came up with my song Life's a Mess and Runaway. I was sitting there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to click a random-ass beat, and I'm just going to freestyle, like, 20 seconds of it. I freestyled, like, 20 seconds of it, and I was like, all right, let me throw this into FL Studio. I threw it into FL Studio, and I start, just like doing all the FL Studio stuff, putting it together so that I can record. And then I put my vocals on by just singing. And I was just singing Runaway, like the beginning. And I was just like amazed at myself how it comes out. Sometimes I am. Like, I'll be freestyling. I'm like, where is this coming from?
Damn,
like,
where'd that come from?
Yeah, I have like this other voice while this other voice is talking. I'm like, where are these coming from? Where are these words coming from? It's just like another universe just sending them. It's like a flow, which is nice. What I did is I just put it into FL Studio, and I started freestyling Runaway, and then I did that, and I did the entire song while I was sitting there, mixed it myself and all that, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna record it in an actual studio, and then I'm gonna put it out. FL Studio.
I remember when I was Fruity Loops back in the day. I used to love Fruity Loops.
I love it. It's one of my favorites because what I'll do is I'll record vocals in another program, put the vocals in FL, and just mix. And for like another one for like Life's a Mess, like I was talking about, I just put the beat in there, and I just like hummed a flow, and I like came up with the words over humming, because sometimes like I said, I can't freestyle, but the words will be here. The words will 100% be here. It'll be a song, but as far as actually interpreting it and taking it out of my mouth,
process.
It's just my brain hasn't been taught to do that 100% yet.
So not everybody can do it.
Exactly,
though.
like Juice WRLD. Oh my God, his freestyle. Back to that, like his freestyling is
that's so good,
phenomenal. And like that's one day I pray that I'll be able to get to that extent, But like Oh my gosh, it's so insane. But Life's a Mess, what I did is I just threw it on and I just freestyled the entire thing straight. After humming the flow, I just freestyled the entire thing straight, and I was like, okay, cool. And I mixed a little bit of it. I took both those songs to the studio the next day and then recorded them. And I was like, these are awesome.
That's
and
it.
Life's a Mess, I feel as if that's my favorite song personally, because like I changed, like I'm also bipolar. I didn't mention that. And so my emotions, they are unregulated most of the time. So I can't really decide to be happy, or I can't really decide to be sad some of the times, which is very difficult to deal with, like especially with being in a relationship or having close friendships. It's difficult to
tough.
maintain consistency within my emotions for other people. So I try my best, but music is one of those things that helps me with that. And just having unregulated emotions is crazy.
It's tough,
Yeah,
man.
it is, because not being able to know, hey, I want to be happy right now, or I want to be sad right now. It's like
nope.
exactly, or like if I have like heavy set anxiety on, I can't shut it off. There's nothing I can do to go, you're off.
And people who don't suffer from anxiety don't understand
exactly,
that. They're
exactly.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Or, like,
exactly.
breathe. And I'm like, I can't.
Yes, yes, and like the shaking. That's the worst part for me, is like my first performances when I first got on stages, I was tremoring my body, like, and my voice would shake as well. But now I've like gotten used to performing and stuff like that. But like, oh my gosh, the anxiety, and I can't get rid of it, no matter. Excuse me, no matter what I did. Yeah, exactly. It's like you can't get rid of it, and like. The song Life's a Mess, that's just, I would say, about me being bipolar for sure, because I know, like, the main hook, I know that I'm not the same, but lately life has been a mess. Like, it's just, life's fucking sucks sometimes, and I don't know how to deal with it. And I know that I'm not acting the exact same as I was when, like, you first met me, but I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? Like, just letting them know, like, life sucks. I'm trying my best. Essentially, yeah.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'm still present. It just doesn't.
Trying.
I know I don't feel. I know it doesn't feel like I'm myself right now, but I'm trying my best, and that's what I try to like acknowledge throughout that song. But yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you were to pick one genre that you enjoy the most making.
Honestly, since like I started it, just alternative rock. Like everyone's told me that like it's been like. It fits me pretty well. So I'm like, I'm definitely going to continue on with that. But like these next few projects, like I already have them all planned out.
Yeah.
And I already have the genres planned out and everything. Oh my gosh, keep doing that. I already have the genres planned out and everything. So I'm really excited to do those. But I definitely feel as if when I'm done kind of doing all the multi-genre stuff, I feel like the one that I eventually will stick with is definitely going to be alternative rock. Just because the way my voice deals with like, the way my voice reacts to the lyrics and everything that I write is just the best that it ever has. Yeah, exactly. So when I hop on the mic and I'm singing it, I'm just like, this is way better than I expected. Like I have an unreleased song that will be released in a few weeks. It's called Live Differently, and that one is just, I'm blown away by it myself when I listen to it sometimes, and I'm really proud of it. As well as my song Blind that dropped this morning. And those two are just phenomenal as well, because I love the alt, like that just goes back to me loving the genre. It's just, it all feels right. It all feels right. That's about it.
It's almost like a 360, man, because you started out in the alternative rock, and then it's kind of like
yeah.
it's come back.
Except for when I was Sky Jacks, that's when I was making like, I don't even know what to consider it. Like it was like trash R&B rap. But I don't know. It was not good.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
Exactly. It was like a hybrid. It was like a Prius of music. Yeah. It was Prius in music standards. No, it was terrible. Is
that why you decided to rebrand?
Yeah, essentially because I was just sitting there. I was like, Sky Jacks doesn't sound cool either. I was like, I definitely can find something.
Sounds like a Mortal
cooler.
Kombat character.
Yeah, right. It does. It does. So I was like, I definitely think I can come up with something way cooler than Sky Jacks. And then eventually what it was is just me and Ty. So when I first dropped my first big project, it was with Ty Keyz. And how it happened was I lived in Arizona at the time, and he lives in Tennessee, or Kentucky. He's always going back and forth between the two. But what happened was we would just FaceTime every night for, I want to say, like, it was almost 30 days straight. We FaceTimed every night. Like, even us going to school and working, we stayed up till 5 a.m., 6 a.m. every night over FaceTime,
That's
just writing, recording our whole first project. And we had over 30 tracks, but only 10 of them made it on the project.
Nice.
So that the amount of unreleased stuff me and him have done together is insane. Ty Keyz is definitely, oh my God, he's the, like, I've never said this out loud, but I've definitely thought it, and I'm not going to regret saying it out loud. If there is going to be anyone in this world that we can equate to being as phenomenal as Juice WRLD, I think one day it is going to definitely be Ty Keyz.
Wow.
Because he is, I don't know how he does it.
It's a high bar.
Yes, it definitely is. But this kid can rap. This kid can sing. He can do anything you want him to do, and he can just pull it out of his brain whenever you want him to.
That's cool.
And it's like I've never seen anyone freestyle like Juice WRLD until one night we were in Panama City Beach, just walking up and down the beach, and we were freestyling. We were trying our best to freestyle to like random people on the beach, and then Ty just kept going off, and he would not stop. And I was like, "Bro, are you ever going to stop?" Like, like if you've heard of Harry Mack, like when he goes and does those freestyles outside, like that type shit, like phenomenal. And I'm like, and he'll switch flows from just like rapping to singing, and like that's one of the things that like makes me and him best friends is like, I can't freestyle, but I can write phenomenal. He can freestyle and do both, but like, I don't know. We just make a really good combination.
Together,
exactly. And as far as like our voices go, if you listen to our album, like sometimes it's hard to differentiate us because we're like, our voices are like not similar, but they go so well together. Like they just merge perfectly together. And he's just one of my best friends. And awesome, I think he's one of the best artists I've ever met. As far as production.
On the podcast.
Yeah, he's going to be here April 20th. He's going to be here for the headline show. He's going to be here for a couple days. Yeah.
Heck yeah. We got to get him in.
I'll have him reach out to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because he is absolutely phenomenal.
So is that the album that you guys worked on together? Is that the thing that you're most proud of?
Yeah, most definitely. It's called Our World. And I've also, with that one, there was a specific cover.
And you were Sky Keyz at the time.
I was. That's when I projected to Sky Keyz. So what happened with that is Ty had gotten signed to a label in the United Kingdom. So what happened was that label was like, oh, you can't really do anything collaborative right now since we're kind of finessing you. So I was like, okay, we just made an album. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
What are we going to do with it? You just got signed to a label. We made an album. How am I going to release it? Yeah, I was like, now I can't release this album. He was like, just release it under Sky Keyz. You can take the name, and then until the label tells me I can collaborate, then we'll add my name onto it. Okay. So that's kind of how we did it. We just kept it under Sky Keyz. So everyone thought it was like we were like a duo, and that's originally how it was going to start. Originally, it was going to be Sky Keyz and Skyjacks and Ty Keyz, Sky Keyz. That's originally how it came to be. But when he got signed to the label, that's when I was like, all right, well, what do I do now? He's like, you know, if you want, you can stick with Sky Keyz. And I was like, you know, I might do that because that sounds a lot better than Skyjacks. And I feel like it'll just be like, I'll be evolving in some kind of way. Yeah. And I definitely feel like I did.
It's like a rebrand almost.
Exactly. And the kind of music I was making then compared to the music I'm making now is absolutely just night and day.
Different,
it is crazy different, and I'm very, very proud of like the progress I've made.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And what's next for you? I know you got a show coming up here in a few weeks.
Yeah. On April 22nd, at the Brass Mug in Tampa, Florida, I'm gonna be doing a headline show. I had a few openers, one of them canceled, but we already filled them back in. It's gonna be Muddy Midnight, Nick Season, J-Boy and Ty Keyz, and then those are going to be the openers for the show, and then it's going to be my headline.
He's going to perform?
Yeah. He's going to, we're going to perform a couple of the songs from my album as well, so it's definitely going to be a fun night because we've never performed together. I'll definitely hook you up with the ticket.
Yeah, for sure.
Get you with the ticket.
Awesome.
It's definitely going to be a good experience, and I'm excited just because I've performed with the Brass Mug a couple times. It's a phenomenal stage, and it's just nice, good environment around people, and it's good environment of people around is what I meant. The bar people are nice. The people who run the lights are nice. And it's just a good experience.
It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice vibe.
They always take care of us when we go perform there, which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a band too, or is it just you?
Just me and the tracks. I'm actually working on finding a band right now. So if anyone is watching that, plays guitar and drums. Well,
Reach
I know
out.
someone who plays drums. It's just he's kind of designated for another artist. I don't know if you've heard of Connor Paycheck. Connor Paycheck's drummer.
Okay.
But he performed. He's performed at one of my shows, and he's like, "Oh, if you ever need me again, let me know." It's definitely gonna use him as a drummer.
Yeah. You got to build
Exactly.
build a full band. Oh my God, I love live music, man.
Me too. Yeah. I like live bands a lot better. The only thing that I struggle with is, like I said, I'm a perfectionist. So if it doesn't sound remotely similar, I'm gonna lose track of everything. So switching from the tracks to legitimate instrumentals live is difficult, but it's just all about the people who play.
You got to practice.
Exactly.
Practicing
Practicing
quite a bit.
Exactly, and that's what I'm excited for, just finding a band and being able to do that. But for right now, I have a really good time, honestly, just getting on there by myself, running around the stage, performing, screaming out my music. It's awesome. And this one, this headline is a basically just a promotion for my album that I'm going to be dropping called False Euphoria. And what that is about, it's my alt rock album that I'm coming out with, and that's it's about losing yourself but finding yourself at the same time, and going through the everyday emotions but also struggling with drug use and alcohol use, and overcoming a lot of that. And it's just I feel like out of all the music I've ever made, it's the realest music I've ever made emotionally, which is going to be definitely a change, which is awesome because there's a lot of emotional depth in there, but there's also some things that are definitely going to blow some people away.
Wow.
Like the song Blind that I dropped today, that's actually one of the teaser tracks that's going to be on the album False Euphoria. Yeah, so if you guys listen to Blind, that's going to be a teaser for what the album's going to be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And where can they find your stuff online?
Sky Keyz, SKYKEYZ. It's
everywhere.
Everywhere. Google. Google. Literally, that's my favorite way to tell people. I'm just go on Google, Sky Keyz,
has
boom.
them all.
Exactly. It gives you anything you need to find. Nice. I don't even know how those pages come across. I just woke up one day, I was like, let me Google myself.
They're all there.
Boom, it's there. And I was like, wow, that's cool. It's really cool. I had no complaints.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, thank you for joining me, man.
Of course.
Yeah,
always.
I appreciate you telling me the story, and you're welcome back anytime. Anytime you want to release something or promote something, you're welcome back, man.
Of course.
And I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And for us, it's going to be BlueBox Podcast. We're on Instagram and TikTok as BlueBox Podcast. We're going to post all these videos on YouTube as video podcasts. So if you want to follow along there, it's youtube.blueboxdigital.com. And with that being said, thanks again, man.
Yeah, of course.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching.